About that. Somehow, somehow I got disconnected. Let me find myself on this so I can monitor if I am clear or not. It's unfortunate that sometimes you don't get what you pay for with internet. You just don't. Let me go back. Hello, K. Renee Garden. How you doing? Everything that could go wrong went wrong a minute ago. I don't know if it's the wind. I think it's my Wi-Fi, and it's happened more than once, and sometimes it happens in the house also. I don't know if somebody is borrowing some of my bandwidth, but it's been happening quite a bit lately. Hello, Tina Johnson. Hello. Okay, Renee, I said hello. Hello, Chasing 55. So I went over, hopefully I got to the point where I was up at the mint, but I don't think so. So the two things or the three things I covered outside were the tomato cuttings. You can do that with the suckers. Just cut the sucker off and put it in some water. Some people don't put it in water, they put it in soil, but I prefer to put it in water because I don't have to, I got water. I always have water. And hello, Pollyanna. I haven't seen you before. Welcome. So I put mine in water just in case I don't have any pot and soil at the time. If I see a sucker, I take it off the tomato plant and put it in some water. And who was it? Grow Family Network. That's who I got that from. So, and he did that a long time ago. That was during the lockdown, I think. He and his wife. So I did that. I've done that before. And I've seen other people since then, since I saw his video, I've seen other people do it in soil and it worked just as well. I've never tried it in soil. I've always done it in water. So I can't vouch for the soil method, but the water one definitely works. I normally take the plant cuttings from my sweet potatoes, my any of them, my fig cutting or my tomato cutting, and I put them in an east-facing window because the sun rises in the east and the sun is not as strong when it first comes in. Gardening is great. How are you doing? So I take it and I put the plant in an east-facing window so that it doesn't get that strong afternoon sun because that will hurt a plant. Now the next one that this got cut off. This is chocolate mint. Now I didn't grow this from seed, right? But chocolate mint vines, right? And I think I got this from the supermarket and it was I think it was like $1.75. I let a lot of flies in my house. I think it was about $1.75 per plant. Go to your supermarkets. You don't always have to buy plants from the big box stores. You can buy them from the supermarket and they're way cheaper. $1.75 per plant, and I bought 3 of them and it filled that whole pot up, and now I'm doing cuttings. I love chocolate mint too, K. Renee Garden. I love chocolate mint. If you like, it's like a hint. It tastes like chocolate mint. It's not a strong chocolate mint, but it's definitely chocolate mint taste. It reminds me of a light peppermint batter. Hello, yes, we're back. I had to come in the house where the internet was better. I bought myself a repeater, but I'm not sure if that's gonna work. Y'all hear my chicks? They haven't been doing well. I think I got a different feed and they're not doing well. I think that stick to what you know. If you find something that's good, do not do anything else. What? My favorite is basil mint. I got, what? Wait. What did Katie say? My fave is basil mint. I have never had that, and I gotta look for it. Maybe the supermarket has it. I really have gotten discouraged from buying stuff from the big box store because they're charging about $5 a plant, and I ain't gonna pay that. $1.75, I can rationalize that, especially. I'm happy that I did. I didn't realize that I could do this until recently because I saw it vining, and I was like, I wonder if I could reroute that. Sure enough, I looked at it. Now, I can't vouch for it because this is my first time, Sure enough, I look at, and there's several YouTube videos on propagating chocolate mint in water. No rooting hormone. So rooting hormone, I mean, there are natural rooting hormones they can use, but rooting hormones didn't always exist. Some people just drag stuff out of the ground and put it in some water. My cousin does that. If she sees a plant growing on the road, she will pick it up, not out of people's yards. If she sees a wild plant, like a wild rose growing in a crack, because they grow everywhere, wild roses will grow anywhere, she'll pull it out and see if she can plant it in her yard. And most of the time it works. Sometimes it doesn't. But if you get it for free, what you got to lose? There are people who say, well, that ain't gonna work. Well, if you don't have anything to lose, then go ahead and do it. This is why I gotta get rid of these. So here's one of the sweet potatoes I grew from my yard. That's a slip growing from it. It's not in soil, it's not in water, and there's a slip. And it's happening because I had it next to bananas. Bananas will make your stuff ripen quicker, and it's like a natural rooting hormone. Look at these. So a lot of the stuff that we pay for, we don't have to pay for. Or we could, if we talk to our neighbors, we could get cuttings from their plants, and then we don't have to do it. We don't have to go and order slips or buy new plants. Just trade them off. Some states don't want you to do that. Some states say that you have to have a license in order to sell, trade, or barter, or anything with plants. And it makes me wonder, the reason why they say they do it is because they want the plants to be true. They want the plant seed to be what the people bought. They don't want it to be a hybrid. But, I mean, it's hard to control heirloom seeds. Especially if you live in an area where everybody's growing stuff, who's to say that your seed is going to be true? I remember hearing someone say, oh, I only grow heirloom seeds. First of all, heirloom seeds are hard to get. They're more expensive. And once you get that fruit, your seed are not heirloom seeds because it can be pollinated from anything else that you're growing from the same family group. So, official Jamia. Let me see if I'm this. Let me see. Kay Renee said, I did both. Works better to me. Okay. Pollyanna says, I watch you and learn a lot. Thank you. Kay Renee says she loves chocolate mint. Official Jamia, I haven't tried to grow mint yet. I have slips, but I am not at home to deal with them. You don't have to do nothing with slips. But sweet potato slips, once you put these jokers in the ground, that is it. Now, they're crying for a reason. I just don't want to go over this. Everything's happening to me today. So once they start growing, you put them in the ground, they take care of themselves, especially if it's sweet potatoes. As a matter of fact, you'll have to fend these things off because they're going to try to take over your yard. Don't plant sweet potatoes. Try to contain them. You got to cut, because what will happen is you got to cut these things back. What will happen is this vine all along here, it'll start rooting. Anywhere it touches the ground, it'll start rooting. That's how it crept across my entire garden last year. It'll just keep growing and reroot and reroot. And everywhere there's a root, guess what? There's going to be a sweet potato, a bunch of them. Anywhere it touches the ground, because I know. And now I'm getting on sweet potatoes again. Sweet potatoes and okra, if you have an okra plant and sweet potatoes growing near it, there will be 1 million sweet potatoes under that okra plant. And it won't affect the okra plant growing at all. I don't know if anybody has ever said to companion plant that, but I'm telling you from what I experienced last year, every time. Because by the time I went and got my sweet potatoes, I got them late. By the time I cut my sweet potatoes, my okra was gone. I chopped it down. And everywhere there was a okra root, 1 million sweet potatoes was there. So if you like okra and sweet potatoes, go and companion plant those jokers, and you're going to get a whole bunch of sweet potatoes, and you're going to get okra in the same piece of land. The only thing you have to worry about is stepping on these vines. And shoot, if you step them, they still fine because they root every couple of feet. They'll start rooting. Let me see. Gardening is Great says, will you repeat that about trying sweet potatoes? I was distracted about. I don't understand. Sweet potatoes? You grow them and apparently you don't even need soil or water, and you only plant the slips. Don't plant this whole thing. It's not gonna give you much if it gives you anything at all. You never plant. And what upsets me is that at the stores, some of the big box stores, they sell seed sweet potatoes. This, right? And you'll see the little slips coming off the side. They don't tell you, don't plant this whole thing. Just plant the slip. You break the slip off, put it in some water. Shoot, you don't even need to put it in water because sometimes it already has roots. And plant it when it gets roots on it, or plant it when it doesn't have roots on it. It does better if you have roots on it. And you'll get some sweet potatoes. Another thing that people do is put it in container. I have not had a good success rate of having sweet potatoes in a container, or potatoes for that matter. I don't know how these people are getting a million sweet potatoes, or potatoes for that matter, in buckets. But when I tried it, it didn't work. It's not enough room unless you get a huge, huge container. These things, sweet potatoes are now you're gonna get some sweet potatoes in there, but they're gonna be little itty bitty, French fry sweet potatoes. You'll get some, but it ain't gonna be worth your time. It ain't gonna be worth your time. Put it in the ground unless your ground has some kind of poison, I shouldn't say that word. She has some kind of contaminant in it, because some people have lead and heavy metals in their soil, and this ground is just no good. They can't grow in it because they'll get themselves sick. So be careful with that. Official Jamerica. So I just plant the slips or throw the whole sweet potato. Just the slip. Just the vine. All from the sweet potato, all you take is this. Root it. I suggest you get roots on it. Plant it once it gets roots, and this will grow. This is just to get sweet potatoes. This is just to get slips. The slips is what you plant, not this. And I get mad when I see them selling seed sweet potatoes in there, because they're not in the same family. Sweet potatoes are not in the same family as potatoes. They're different. These are more like a yam. And potatoes are just a tuber. Let me see. What? Who is that? What is it? I can't see your name. I see Duncan on there. And then I have learned so much from Duncan said, I have learned so much from this channel. I have to go back to work and I will watch the replay. Thank you, Jamerica. Thank you for being with us. Mr. Motivator 35, sweet potatoes has vitamin A, C, K, B1, B2, B3, B9. Okay, that's my art. Yeah, I'm back. That's my art. My internet. I ordered a repeater today. So hopefully that helps. So when you are trying to grow stuff that looks like it can be grown in some water, even if it doesn't look like it being grown in some water. Because I was talking to someone else, and it was not in the chat, but in the comments of one of my videos, and now figs and peaches and plums, they're all stone fruit. So I can root a fig in water, and somebody said, well, I wonder if we could root peaches in water. And then I remembered another video, LF73, he does the chili dog method, but he leaves it on the tree. So maybe if we cut up, I'm just speculating because I'm like that, Inspector Gadget and Mad Scientist. I am chopping off a new branch from one of my peach trees that I don't necessarily care about because I got one that's huge out there. And I put one branch in the water, left the cambium layer, just the bark on there, right? The other one I scraped down to the white part. And then that was just in a normal clear bottle, right? I don't expect those to grow. But from what he did on the chili dog method, he wrapped it in soil and wrapped it with aluminum around it. So what if I put a branch in a dark and leave the top out, right? Take it down to the cambium layer. I don't know if I'm saying it right. To the white part, scrape all that green, all the bark, all the green stuff off. Put it in a dark bottle, a bottle that you can't see through. Cover it with foil. I wonder if I'll get roots. I'm gonna try it. I got a big old tree out there. I can try anything I want. I'll let y'all know how it works. The other two I don't expect to grow though. Chasing 55, Jamerica, I noticed your, my fig is smaller. My fig, Fagoa fig is smaller. What did you do? Mine has grown up the wall and across the seed. It ain't getting no light. That one back there, I don't even want that plant, to tell you the truth. But it's been around for years. I ain't do nothing. It's hanging over there. It's the same size. It just has less leaves on it. It's not getting as much light. All the rest of the trees are taking the light. You see those plants right there? That's what I want. Those are soursop trees. That fig ain't gonna save me. Long ago, I was buying, you could tell by my yard, I bought a bunch of plants like crepe myrtles and rose bushes and what else? Red tip pontineum, mountain laurel. You can't eat that stuff. And I'm kind of irritated about what I did because every time I get ready to plant a tree, that's why I don't care about that fig. I mean, I'll care about it because it cleans the air. That's all it does. Every time I get ready to plant a fruit tree, one of the trees that I planted, because I planted everything in this backyard, everything in the back, this place there's nothing here. Nothing except the house. So every time I get ready to plant a fruit tree, or if a fruit tree like this, that I can make these, I can use these leaves and make tea. If I get a tree, if I get something that I can use medicinally or eat, I don't care about the other stuff. That fig is in the back. I might put it outside, but this Texas sun will kill it. I can't put it outside. I can't keep it inside. Well, it's fine. But I love plants. But at this stage in my life, I realized that they got to do something for me besides look pretty. That's like, it's like a pretty girl or a handsome man ain't got no brain or no ambition. What do I need it for? So I went ahead and I put my soursop. This is taking all the light, and this has precedence because I can make tea out of this, and eventually these bad boys put out fruit. That's why the fig doesn't have any light. So I might move it somewhere else, but at this point in my life, I ain't got the strength to do it. I got too much, and I water it, and it gets what it gets. Let's see. There you are, Nino and Lo. How you doing? I'm back. Yeah, I had to come in the house because apparently my internet doesn't reach outside anymore. I think somebody is tapping into my internet, even though it's password protected. People have a way of, it's called theft of service. And if I find out that somebody's doing that, well, I'm gonna press charges because I'm like that. I'm paying too much money for this internet. So let me see. Urban container gardening. Hello, Jamerica. How you doing? Chasing 55. I had mine for years. That's why it's grown so big. Mine is old too. Oh, that thing been around for at least 10, 12 years. That fig is tough. But it's here. It's not a real fig. It doesn't give you figs. All it does is look like that. So I just wanted to talk to you all about cuttings and what you can do with them and how you can propagate in just water. You don't need I have rooting hormone over there in the laundry room that I've never used. I keep on trying things and they keep on working. And then I get mad at myself and say, well, why'd you spend the money on rooting hormone if you're just going to not use it? But here we are. Does anybody have any questions in reference to some of the things that I talked about? Now, there's a lot of plants out there that I don't know about yet. I don't know. I'm thinking that blackberries jump, by the way. They'll vine just like a sweet potato will, and then they'll plant themselves again. So I'm thinking that I can root blackberries. Once my blackberries get bigger, because they're never going in this clay soil. Every time I put blackberries in the clay soil, it doesn't do well. And get it together, girl. I'm stuttering. So I'm gonna keep my blackberries in containers because I have to, because I got that clay soil and it don't like it. And I'm gonna do cuttings and see if that works. And I think it will, because they jump. They jump and root, just like strawberries. They put out runners. So we'll see. Does anybody have any questions in reference to some of the plants that I did? No, I didn't cover it. Not even that. I didn't even put a dent in what you can grow just from cuttings. But I'm trying. So I don't have anything else. I just wanted to finish the live that I started a few minutes ago where it just went out on me. It might have been the wind. It could be anything. I don't know. Anytime I learn something new, and this one is new, the chocolate mint, I try to share it with everybody so that nobody has to go through the learning process that I had to go through. Gina versus Gina, how you doing? I'm going to get off. Maybe you can watch the replay. So I'm just trying to pass on the information because I learn things from people all over the place, and I don't want to be one of those people who hold on to knowledge. Don't want to be that one. Don't. If I know something, I'm gonna tell you. Yeah, I just do that because I think it comes back. Everything you learn comes back. Now, there's some people I watch that I don't necessarily care for some of their mannerisms, but every time I watch them, I learn something from them. And then there's some people who is just as nice as can be and pleasant and funny, and you don't learn nothing. It's all frosting, no cake. I'd rather have the cake and the frosting, or just the cake, if you understand what I mean. Because some people is sugar and spice and everything nice, but they ain't got no substance. They ain't teaching you nothing. They just telling you a bunch of funny stories or kind words. And how's that gonna help me in life? I need somebody to help me in life. I try to look past people's bad manners sometimes if they're gonna teach me something. I may not like what you say sometimes, but I'm listening because you obviously know what you're talking about. Some people just show you, I've seen, and there's nothing wrong with it because everybody is different. Some people like stuff like that. Some people just show you their garden and what's going on in their gardens, but they don't show you how they did it. And that's a problem. And you're not passing on anything. You're not telling anybody anything that's going to do them any good. You're just saying, I grew this, I grew this, I grew this. Sometimes people do that because there's a lot of garden shaming out there. And some people are like, oh, I grow all organic. And there's no way you can grow all organic, by the way. And there's no way you can grow, and I'm going to tell you why I said that. And there's no way you can grow only heirloom. Because there's the wind, the birds, the bees, the soil, the contaminants coming out of the sky. Nobody can really say that their stuff is pure because we all agree. We ourselves are contamination. We put out stuff. And you might say, well, that's all natural, but not everything. Just because you buy something in the store that says it's soil, you don't know. You don't know what that stuff is. And you don't know what the organic fertilizers are made in. Our blood meal, that is made from animal blood. You don't think that they get vaccinations? I don't know how I got on this. You don't think that stuff gets in their bones and their blood? So sometimes people don't tell you what they're using because they're using stuff like Miracle Grow and 10 10 10. And I use 10 10 10. I still got some in the garage. But I'm eating this stuff. So I'm doing what I'm comfortable with. And some people don't like it, and that's fine. And they'll garden shame you for it. Instead of I remember I was on the track team, and there was some people, not even, I'm not gonna say the track team. I was working, right? And there were some people who were not pulling their weight. They were not doing it, and they didn't make any mistakes because they weren't doing anything to make any mistakes. And instead of focusing in on the people who weren't doing anything, people always focus in on the mistakes the people who were trying did. You understand what I'm saying? Never ever, or in my opinion, never put down or shame someone who's trying. Shame the ones who's not doing anything. The ones that want everything on a silver platter, the ones that don't want to work for their stuff. I grow from seed, right? But I don't put, I hope I have never, I grow most of my stuff from seeds. I hope that I have never put down anyone who grows from a seedling that they bought from the store, because at least that person is trying. Now, some people, they want you to grow everything and you to give them what you out there sweating and basically running yourself in the ground and doing stuff, and they're just watching you, and then they want all of what's left, you know. And if you don't give them something, because I have family members like this, so no, I hope they're not watching. They call you selfish. When they watch you work yourself to death, didn't help you at all. But if you don't share, you're selfish. Let me see what happened. I sometimes do that because this is my first time doing a YouTube channel. I'm still learning, and I don't want to tell them anything wrong. I understand. And I understand it completely. I told you guys, this is my first. I showed you guys this, right? But this is the first time I'm trying it. As long as you're trying. I didn't mean to do that. I'm just talking about people who know. There's some people who know stuff and don't tell nobody. They won't tell you nothing. They won't tell you nothing. And if they do tell you, they probably want you to pay for it. You're like, okay, I need you to do this in order to get this information. I got my own internet site. Go to my site. And then you go to the site and it's like $10 to join. It's just, hey, if you want to do that, that's fine. If that person is that good and they're worth it, okay. But there's also people out there who know what they're doing and giving it out there for free like me. Maybe I'm silly. Maybe I don't know any better. But back to the thing, garden shaming. And I can't cover this topic enough because I have stopped watching people because they garden shame. And then I realized I wasn't learning nothing from them. It was just ticking me off. And I was like, you know, why do I always feel bad after I get off of this person's channel? They make me feel like I'm doing everything wrong, or I shouldn't be doing this. And I'm doing the best I can. And I know that most of you all are doing the best you can. I know that most of you all are, because we're gardeners and we're learning from each other. Pass on your information. That's all I got to say. Pass on your information and try not to judge one another, because everybody got their own thing. Everybody got their own life and they got their own cross to bear. So let me get on my little soapbox about the organic and the garden shaming and the 10 and the Miracle Grow, and why some people don't pass on information because they're using 7 dust and everybody gonna hate on them. You ain't gonna get that here. Ain't nothing but love here. Do your best. Do what's right for you and forget about these people. Anyway, this is Jamerica with Jamerica Life. I thank everyone for being with me. I'm sorry about the inconvenience earlier. I just wanted to try this, and I'll let you know how this chocolate mint goes. According to other YouTubers, this works. We'll see. This is Jamerica with Jamerica Life. I thank everybody for being with me, and I will see you on the next one, all right? Bye, y'all.